What is going on, folks? In this one, I want to jump into something a lot more tactical with you, and I want to walk you through a Facebook post that's like somewhere between like 10 and 15 lines. I haven't counted them specifically. And in the space of 48, 72 hours, pulled in about $20,000 in revenue, 10K cash collected. Okay, I'll explain the split to you as we walk through this. I posted this once in my Facebook group, then I screenshot the post and I did 2 little reminders about it, another one in the group and one on my Facebook profile. Didn't go out to my list, so it was just a pretty direct social media type offer, and I'll explain to you what their offer is. And then what I also want to do, if you stick with me through the video, is do a bit of a line-by-line walkthrough and then tell you from kind of a copywriting or marketing messaging perspective what each line is doing, so that you can then go and take this framework and deploy it, make some money. Okay, before we jump into it, if you haven't already, would love you to subscribe to the channel. I talk all about strategies, tactics, principles, frameworks for building a online consulting business to $100,000 up to $1 million per year without sales calls, without doing strategy sessions, discovery calls, all that kind of good stuff. And one thing that you're going to see today is a tactic to generate some buyers that can ultimately potentially produce you some long-term clients. Okay, so if you're into that kind of stuff, subscribe, give the video a like, drop any comments or questions that you've got below. And if you'd like to know more about what we do or how we might be able to help you, you can head over to jacobcaris.com. That's going to be the first link in the description. Okay, with that all out of the way, let's jump into what we've got on the screen here. Okay, so first things first, I want to read you the post. Then we're going to do a bit of a line-by-line breakdown from a copy perspective and from an offer creation perspective, and there might be some kind of pricing strategy and stuff that comes out in all of that as well. Okay, so you can see at the top it says sold out. I updated that after it had actually sold out. A little tip or a little point on this is, obviously it's amazing whenever you can sell stuff out, not just from the cash flow perspective, but what it will do is it will create more demand the next time you drop a limited time or a limited spot opportunity. If your stuff doesn't sell out, there's no urgency for people to jump on it when you drop it, okay? Whereas if it does sell out and someone was watching but they didn't move fast enough, the next time they're gonna know, hey, Jacob's stuff sells out, I need to move quickly. So it becomes this positive compounding effect where people will buy faster because they know you sell out. Okay, so that got added after, but that's just a little bit of a, I guess, a principle or a thing to understand when it comes to selling stuff. So what that means is sometimes you might want to actually not like sell as many spots as possible. You might want to like cap it a little bit lower, be 1000% certain that you're actually going to sell it out, and then you start rolling demand forward for future opportunities. Okay, so that's just a little side point. Let's dive into the copy. First thing, I've sold over $3 million in info products plus coaching and consulting since 2018 with a tiny audience. Okay, I'm gonna go line by line through this and explain the copy in a second. In early February, I'm gonna host a small private Zoom call with just 4 people who want me to personally map out their ecosystem and offer stack, okay? Plus, I'll hook them up with all the templates, examples, etc. you need for your offers, content, plug and play. All right, you'll walk away with absolute clarity on your brand, who you serve, and how to monetize heavily. That's what we specialize in. $5,000 per head, $2,500 now, and $2,500 after you pull in 10K with what we map out. Plus, you'll also get free access to my Fast Cash Rolodex. It's a course I have that sells for 1K all day, every day. 1 to 2 sales, and it pays for itself. Get in touch if you'd like to grab one of these spots. I'm dropping this here before I go out to my profile plus list of 10,000 people. Didn't ultimately end up needing to go out to the list. Then I just said you in, JC, and then I just put a little PS down the bottom. I said, I don't sell one-to-one by the hour anymore. I used to. The only other way to get access to me personally is via my inner circle. You guys can head over to jacobcaris.com if you want information about that. And I have 2 other one-to-one programs called Elite and Platinum. And these programs range from $1,500 a month up to $5,000 a month. And generally it's a 6 to 12 month minimum commitment on those things. Okay, so really, really simple post. Short, to the point. Here's what I'm going to do for you. If you're interested, let me know. Okay, and so like I said, 20K in sales, 10K now, 10K after they achieve the result. All right, so let me go line by line through this with you here. Okay, now remember that sold out thing that was added afterwards. So the first line here is, I've sold over $3 million in info products plus coaching and consulting since 2018 with a tiny audience. Okay, so this line 1 straight up is a credibility builder. Okay, so for people that are following me, most of them probably know this, but if it grabs someone new's attention, I instantly say, hey, I don't just talk the talk, I've walked the walk in this game. right? And it's very direct, very to the point. The fact that I've said since 2018 also says, I've been in this game for a while. It's not some like fly by night, disappear tomorrow type thing. And then the other element that's important to that is with a tiny audience, okay? The reason I put this in there is because typically when you talk about like big numbers, a lot of people's brain will instantly go, oh, well, you've probably got a massive audience of, 100,000 people. And that's not the case with me. My audience is relatively small compared to a lot of people. And so I want to put that in there to demonstrate to people, hey, the strategies and the tactics that we use, you don't need a massive audience. Okay, so you can see how that's important to the copy. So building credibility in results and showing that I've been around for a while, and then showing that we've been able to do this with a small audience, which means that they don't need a massive audience. Okay, so that's the first line of copy. The second line is a bit of like almost admin. It's the who, what, when type line. Okay, in February, I'm going to be hosting a small private Zoom call with just 4 people who want me to personally map out their ecosystem and offer stack. Okay, now ecosystems and offer stacks might not mean anything to you. We talk about those concepts in my group. So the people that follow me are familiar with those kind of, I guess, that terminology or that lingo, if you will. And so all this line is really saying it's when in February, who, 4 people, right? And what could either be the private Zoom call, right? That's, I guess that might be like a how. And then the what is we're going to build your ecosystem and offer stack. So this is just in one sentence. What's the, what are we talking about here? What's the entire point of this post? Okay. So really, really simple, straight up, gets it on the table so that there's no confusion. All right. Next line down. Line number 3. Plus, I'll hook you up with all the templates, examples you need for your offers, content, etc. Plug and play. Okay, so this is showing, in addition to the call, I'm going to give you these resources that are going to speed things up for you. Okay, so I've said here, line 3, bonuses to make it faster. People ask me, they're like, well, what should I include as bonuses in my offers? Anything that's going to make the process faster. So whatever the thing you're helping people achieve, whatever the problem you're helping them overcome, going from A to Z, bonuses are stuff that will help expedite the process and get them the result faster. Templates, examples, cheat sheets, resources, scripts, all that kind of stuff. Plug and play makes it quick, boom, get it done, move towards the result. Okay, so that's line 3 there. Line 4, what you'll leave with. I admit this could have been stronger. It could have been more specific. Specificity is always going to make your copy stronger, but it did the job. You'll walk away with absolute clarity on your brand, who you serve, and how to monetize heavily. Okay, I could have been more specific on that, but it's ultimately like, what are you going to leave with? Okay, so we're going to meet on this call. This is what we're going to do together. You're going to also receive these bonuses. What does that ultimately culminate in terms of what you're going to walk away with? That's really what that line is saying there. Okay, then boom, price, straight up. Okay, whenever you're delivering price, you don't want to beat around the bush. This is the price, all right? You're not, maybe, would you be okay if it was 5,000? No, it's $5,000, boom, all right? So what we do is we anchor that 5K, and then in the next line, what we're doing is de-risking the transaction. So this is a bit of a pricing strategy here. It also means that we're splitting, we'll do half now and half after we achieve the result. So it's me standing behind the product, okay? 5K per head. And the second you say that price or type that price or people read that price, they're starting, if they want the thing, they're starting to go, how can I make 5K happen? They're starting to think about what it looks like when 5K leaves their bank account, or what bank accounts they've got and if there's 5K in there, or what credit limits they've got, right? As soon as you say the $5,000, for the people that want it, they're processing, how can I afford that? The second you do it. And then so when you immediately pivot into 2K now and 2K after, if they justified the 5 in their head already, which this shit happens fast, the $2,500 is a no-brainer, right? It's just halved what it is to get started today. Okay, so this is de-risking and it's making it easier for people to say yes. Okay, if I just said 2.5K now and 2.5K later, it wouldn't be as effective. That little anchor and then dropping down is really, 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 really powerful. Okay, so that's what's happening there. That's a little bit of a pricing strategy that you are welcome to go and use. Okay, the next one. Plus, you're also going to get my Fast Cash Rolodex, which sells for 1K all day, every day. Okay, so this is another bonus, help speed it up. But the extra thing that's happening here, seal the deal with a real world value bonus. That is legitimately, the price is $1,000. If you go to the website now, it's $1,000. And so if someone's been on the fence about that course and they're going to buy it, they're like, well, maybe I'll just buy this instead and then I get this other thing as well. So it's really beneficial when you can put bonuses in that have a genuine real world value that they can see and is out there in the market. it really increases the value of the transaction, okay? And from my perspective, it's leveraged. It doesn't take me any more time to unlock that for those people, okay? So that's what we're doing there, is a real world value bonus to just make the deal even sweeter, okay? We're bringing this to a head here, right? The next line here, de-risk easy ROI line. This is a really short line in it, but it's really, really powerful, okay? So let's just quickly recap. We've said we've built credibility. Here's what's happening. Here's the bonuses you're going to get. Here's what you're going to walk away with. Anchored the price, dropped the price with the pricing strategy, added on a real world bonus. And now what we're doing is we're saying, here's how easy it's going to be for you to get an ROI on this, okay? People's ability to buy will be tied, or people's willingness to buy will be tied to how quickly they think they can get an ROI on it, how easily they think they can get an ROI on it. So you want to point that out for them. 1 to 2 sales and it pays for itself. Most of my clients are selling high ticket stuff. So if they make 1 to 2 sales with either the templates, the examples, the Rolodex that I give them, or anything from the call, 1 to 2 sales, they're in front. Right, literally pays for itself, right? They're going to make way more than that, but what we're trying to do is show how quick it is or how easy it is to get an ROI on the transaction, okay? So that line there, it's only like, a couple of words, but very, very potent in terms of putting into context the investment relative to getting an ROI on that investment. All right, so that's that next line there. Then we just go into a very, very simple CTA, right? Get in touch if you'd like to grab one of these spots. That's it. This next one is to encourage people to move fast, okay? And I can say that without being like, oh, it's disappearing or a deadline or whatever. All I do is I say, look, I'm dropping this here first because this went into my group before I go to my profile and list of 10,000 people. So what you're doing there is similar to the price anchoring, is we've set up the top 4 people. Now we're saying this is going to go out to a profile and a list of 10,000 people. Okay, you can see the disconnect in terms of how big the audience is versus how many spots there are. So it's amplifying the scarcity of the fact that there's only 4 spots. That's what's really happening there. Okay, and then I just say you in, sign off, and then this PS, this is really to show in terms of the exclusivity, the opportunity, and the only other ways to get access to me are through these much higher end programs. So this is, again, just reinforcing the value of the deal and also encouraging people to move faster, because once these 4 spots are gone, if you want access to me, my advice, you're gonna have to go through one of those programs, okay? Give this one a go, right? Like I said, not many lines, quick, punchy. Hopefully you can use that framework and go and sell some stuff. Use it for a workshop like this. Use it for an existing course that you've got. Use it for a coaching offer, for whatever. Go and deploy it. Go and rewatch kind of me explaining each of these lines, because they're really, really powerful when you pack them all together. And let me know how you go. Appreciate you hanging out with me on this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.